Subtropical storm Nicole is on the move. We have the latest outlook, hazards, and timing for the system, and it's going to be hurricane status potentially as it makes landfall into Florida. We have all that and more coming up into this live segment of your tropical outlook. I'm Joshua Weisel here with the Weather 225 Storm Studios. Thank you for tuning in. So starting off, this is a live look as of this morning of what we have going on with Tropical Storm Nicole. And if you see in the bottom right, we have that up because it has times and it also has the hurricane status. The software that we're using hasn't quite updated to show that hurricane symbol on the track, but it has the updated track. So we have that there, but also look at the wind field with this storm. So there is a large wind field with this, and that's because this is a giant scattered subtropical storm. So as you can see there on the bottom right, huge wind field. So as this makes its way into the Florida coastal areas, there is potential for widespread impacts of tropical storm force winds, storm surge for coastal areas, and even some flooding. So this storm is going to eventually make its way into the Florida coastal areas as a Category 1. So we'll show you where. So where it says TS right there, just south of Port Orange, north of Fort Pierce, that's where the track has this making landfall as a Category 1 hurricane. As you can see, this giant blue line just south of Savannah and north of Miami for coastal areas, this is a tropical storm warning, and just behind it, you can't really see it, there is a hurricane watch there as well. We'll be watching for any sort of upgrades to this as the storm approaches hurricane status. For areas that you see here in the red in the northern Bahamas, these are hurricane warnings. So these are the alerts that we have going on there. Moving on, as we head into Thursday, we're talking Thursday around 1 a.m. That's when this storm approaches the coastal Florida areas along the eastern Florida coast as a Category 1 hurricane. By very early Friday, this is a tropical storm near the Jacksonville area. We're talking 1 a.m. Midday Friday, we're talking near the Charleston area as a tropical storm, and then eventually near New York by, let's say, early day Saturday. So that's what we've got going on with this latest outlook. I'm going to zoom out and show you. We're going to clear all this off. We're going to show you the potential rainfall outlooks with this as well, with the days 1 through 5 rainfall. And as you can see, quite a bit of rainfall. So in addition to the tropical storm force winds and the storm surge, there's going to be a lot of rainfall with this as it makes its way up the Florida coast. And pretty much, we'll zoom out, all of the eastern coastal United States from the southeast all the way to the northeast is going to see some heavy rainfall with this. And in some areas we're talking maybe 5 to 6 inches down here in the south, and even up to the northeast as well. In the New York area we're talking 3 to 4, maybe 5 inches of rain there. So heavy rainfall is pretty much expected with the latest forecast from areas just north of Miami all the way and along the entire United States eastern coast as the storm tracks all the way to the northeast. So we're not going to be dealing with a hurricane the entire way up, but unfortunately we are going to be dealing with tropical storm force winds at times as it makes its way up the coast, and heavy rainfall as this makes its way to the northeast. We could also be dealing with some severe weather along the eastern United States as well from this. So there's a lot to be watching as this makes its way into the United States coast and up and along to the northeast. So that's the latest that we have there with this storm. The National Hurricane Center has some new key messages today. Hurricane conditions are possible across portions of the Florida coast beginning late Wednesday night, where hurricane watch is in effect. Dangerous storm surge is expected along much of the coast of Florida and portions of coastal Georgia, where the storm surge warning is also in effect. They also want people to not just focus on the exact track of this, since it is expected to be a rather large storm with pretty much all hazards possible, those being storm surge, flooding, tropical storm force winds, and even some severe weather spawning from it as well. So there's a lot going on with this. Make sure that if you're in any of these coastal areas, you are staying tuned to the local forecasts as we head into the next couple of days as this approaches by Wednesday, tomorrow, and Thursday. and also stay tuned to your local trusted forecasters, National Weather Service, and more. So that's a look at what we got going on here with this storm. If anything changes, we'll let you know. Like we said, stay tuned to local officials, National Weather Service, and media outlets. This is going to be a rather large storm, like we said, so widespread impacts for a large portion of the southeastern United States coast is basically anticipated at this point. Those are tropical storm force winds. That's around 50 to 60 miles an hour, sustained. And like we said, flooding is possible. Storm surge for coastal areas is possible as well. Have a great day. Thank you for tuning in. We will have more updates on this as we get them, so stay tuned for more. Whether it's sunny, stormy, or snowy in North Texas, be sure to download our free Weather 225 mobile app. Like our video and our live stream? Find us today on Amazon Fire TV.